Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Is audio working? Please let me know, because I was messing with the audio earlier and I don't know if I had it set up correctly. Just waiting in chat to see. I'm not sponsored by Diet Pepsi, by the way. Can you hear me? Oh, loud and clear. Thank you. Appreciate it, Mark. Thanks, Andre. Welcome, everyone, to another Sunday night live stream. My name is Jerome. I go by Finally Fasting. Lena, Aisha, A, Abdi, Andre, Mark. Who else is in here? Arimituka. Hopefully I said that right. Athena, Pamela, Edward, Vicky, Simply Delicious, Steven, Edward. Wait, did I say Edward already? Either way, hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another Sunday night live stream. We are going to be discussing the holidays this week. Not only the holidays, but how to handle holidays, specific unforeseen events that might come up, dealing with eating multiple days back to back, dealing with weight gain, how to overcome, figure out these possible anxiety-inducing situations with holidays, overeating, possible overeating. I'm a little nervous. Are any of you? Are you for the upcoming holidays, for those who are celebrating Thanksgiving next Thursday or this coming Thursday? Is that something that you have a plan for? Have you figured out what you're going to do? Have you figured out how you're going to handle it? Are you going to make sure that you don't also eat on Friday and then Saturday and then Sunday? Because I am. But we'll get into that in a minute. Today is Sunday, November 24th. Today is day 385 of my fasting journey. 385 days, everyone. That is 55 weeks of performing rolling fasts, of not only losing 80 pounds, but keeping the weight off for nearly 7+ months after. I'm well into a year plus of what I'm doing. If you have been following me on this journey since the very beginning, or if you caught me a month later or 3 months later, have you been continuing on your journey? Have you been performing rolling fasts in a consistent manner? Not perfectly, right? You've heard me say it time and time again. I practice imperfect consistency, doing things that might not be perfect, but I continue to show up, continue to be accountable, to be transparent, to be honest, not only with myself, but to all of you. Have you been showing up? Have you been consistent? Have you been imperfectly consistent? As I say this, 55 weeks into this, imagine where you'd be 55 weeks if you had come along for the journey. Or if you started watching me 35 weeks ago, imagine where you'd be 35 weeks into it. Even if it's just a pound a week, half a pound a week. The other question, did I ask a question earlier? But the the other part of this, right, is, are you sitting here right now on a Sunday evening and you're like, you know what? I'm going to start on Monday. My belief is there's probably a number of us here who aren't even thinking about starting on Monday. Instead, they're telling themselves, well, it's Thanksgiving week. I'm probably, maybe some of you took the week off. Maybe some of you are off Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, and then you're off Friday, the day after. And then you've already told yourself, well, I'm not going to start until after the holidays. Which one? Thanksgiving? Christmas? New Year's? How long before you get back on track? You've heard me say this many times before, but this has nothing to do with eating the cleanest, fasting on Thanksgiving. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm really saying is, can't you just take care of your health without telling yourself, I'm going to start on Monday? I'm going to start over on this day. This day will be my day one. This is also not to say that if you are planning on fasting during Thanksgiving, more power to you. If you remember me last year, not only did I fast on Thanksgiving, but I also fasted on Christmas. I was very, very determined last year. That's how I lost the 80 pounds in 5 months, less than 5 months. So, whatever your plan is moving forward for the holidays, let's talk about making sure you keep that goal that you have planned. Or if you're like me, where you're giving yourself grace and you are giving yourself the opportunity to enjoy the holidays, eat back-to-back days, let's talk about damage control and minimizing damage control. That's what we're going to talk about today. So whatever plans you might have, maybe you might not have a plan right now. And we can talk about that. We can go over what a plan looks like. I will share with you what my plan is, because I can almost guarantee you my plan is going to be pretty wild for the next 2 weeks, starting tomorrow, actually. Not that I'm starting tomorrow, but my vacation actually starts tomorrow. But we'll get into that. Remember, this is an accountability check for all of us. I'm on here because this is my way of sharing my accountability, where I'm at, how things are going. Please feel free to use this chat to share your accountability, whether it's good or bad. Let us know how your fasts are doing. If they're not doing the best, maybe it's really helpful to vent and share that, to share the tough times that you're going through. I certainly use this opportunity, these Sunday night live streams. I use that opportunity to vent when needed. And I'm not going to lie to you, the next 2 weeks for me are probably going to be really tough. I have no idea what's going to happen on the scale. Well, I know that the scale is going to go up, but I don't know how much it's going to go up by. I don't know how I'm going to handle back-to-back eating days. Again, we'll get into it in a bit, but for anybody that's in here, please feel free to share your accountability. Be transparent if that's helpful for you. Be honest. I think for many of us, we don't think about how important being honest with yourself is. Standing on the scale and accepting the fact that you weigh X amount of pounds today and that maybe it'll go up the next day because you refed or you overate. And instead of making excuses, you can just accept the fact that this is where you are right now and that there's nothing wrong with what the number says on the scale, that you're on a journey that will always be never ending and you're just trying to figure your shit out. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to figure my shit out. I'm just trying to stay happy and healthy. I'm just trying to accept the fact that some days are going to be good, some days are going to be great, some days are going to be awful. I'm also here accepting the fact that I don't want to feel guilty when I don't fast for as long as I intend to. I don't want to feel guilty if I overeat every now and then. I don't want to feel guilty if I don't make the best choices when it comes to eating or drinking or not getting my cardio in or not lifting as heavy as I wanted to. There are so many of us, I think, that beat ourselves up with what we do. We don't give ourselves enough grace. And if you're sitting here and you're telling me, or you're thinking, but that's not it, Jerome, I just need to do more. I need to do, nobody's stopping you from doing so. But if you think that the only key to success is just fasting for a long time, you have a lot to learn. I think with people I've coached, with the number of people I've talked to, I think we come into this with huge goals of fasting 72 hours, 96 hours, 168 hours, possibly longer than that. And that's what you're using as your rule of thumb for success. When in fact, the real successes come from, oh, you had a bad day. Oh, you didn't hit the 36-hour fast that you were going to do. How did you approach it? What did you do? Oh, you overate. What did you do after that? What was the action that preceded that moment? Did you learn from that? What did you learn about yourself? These are the real successful growth moments for many of us that we don't think about because we don't look at that as successful. We look at that as, I fucked up. Let's just start over. Let's just throw everything away because what's the point? What does a 23-hour fast matter? It matters a lot. An 18-hour fast matters a lot. You know what? A 12-hour fast matters a lot. Because usually the follow-up questions after a 12-hour fast is, okay, what did your diet look like? Oh, your diet was shitty? You overate that day? Okay. Did you work out that day? How was your sleep the night before? Did you sleep well that evening? Did you make use of the extra calories you ate? Fasting will always be my foundation. That will always be my go-to. But I'm not at this weight. I didn't lose this weight. I'm not wearing these clothes that I fit into now because I just fast and do nothing else. Once you understand that this is more about layering all the things that you can do to better yourself, the closer you'll be to success. And not just getting to that goal weight, but maintaining that weight and staying there and being happy with yourself and having a better mental, positive outlook in what you're doing. It probably sounds like fluff to many of you who maybe are like, well, I still have all this weight to lose. Okay. But there's a lot to learn getting to that journey. When I lost the 80 pounds in 5 months, do you think I got down to 140 and I was like, okay, everything's perfect. I got all my shit figured out. I never have to learn another thing again. No, not at all. If I knew the things that I know now versus what happened back in March, I probably would have incorporated a lot of things better. No regrets, obviously, but I say this with anybody who's watching here to give yourself that opportunity to continue learning and learn that this is more than just about fasting. I hope many of you know that who are watching this now or who end up watching this in the future. So let me go ahead. Let's just share some of the nerd stats that I typically share. Day 385 is 55 weeks into my journey. Again, I've been doing this for over a year at this point. In the last 385 days, I have completed 136 fasts, which means that for 249 days, I have not eaten. In the last 385 days, my fasts have averaged 61 hours and 58 minutes, nearly a 62-hour fast, which, if I'm thinking correctly or my math is adding up correctly, that is nearly a 2.5-day fast, 2 minutes shy, with an average refeed of 5 hours and 45 minutes, which means for the last 385 days, the last year plus, I have performed a 2.5-day fast on average with a 5 hour and 45-minute refeed, or a 6-hour refeed. 62-hour fast, 6-hour refeed. 62-hour fast, 6-hour refeed. On average for the last 385 days. What this also means, though, is in the last year plus, I have not binged. I have not had a binging episode since November 5th, 2023. That is the last one that I have had. It's a very vivid memory for me of doing something like that. And it's such a huge win for me to go this long now without binging. Currently, before I get into that, Sherry with a $5 super chat. Sherry, hi. Welcome. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Thank you, Jerome, for helping me stop the self-harm cycle. I'm glad that you continue showing up, Sherry. I love hearing this as well, that you found a good place for yourself. Imperfect consistency. Just hit my 90-day back on track. Posted daily for accountability. Sherry, I love that for you. Congrats on finding, right, seeing a way out, getting to probably a place that you haven't been to in a while. I love that for you, Sherry. Congratulations. Thank you again for the $5 super chat. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. Thank you for sharing transparency, being honest and sharing with us how things have been. I love that for you. I appreciate that. Please continue to let us know how things are going, Sherry. Thanks again. Thank you again. It's just so nice to hear when I see these success stories or wins, right? These are W's, right? I think there's also a good number of us that forget all the W's that happen on our journey. I think for many of us, we think the only W that matters is the number on the scale, when in fact, we can rack up so many wins when it comes to fasting and taking care of ourselves that we often forget that so many of these other things are such huge wins. Sometimes it's even just the reminder of, oh, you lost this weight. And then people will sometimes get into this place and beat themselves up because they're stuck at this weight that they've lost, but they can't continue to lose more. And sometimes there's that reminder of, when was the last time you have not only lost this weight, but have kept it off for this long? Sure, maybe you are in a plateau at the moment. Maybe you're having a hard time getting back onto another fast, but look at you maintaining this weight. Look at you taking care of yourself. Look at you not, for me, right? Another day of binging or another day that I don't binge, the more infrequent it happens is a huge win for me. Huge. Think about the W's in what you're doing. Don't focus on just what that number is on the scale, because that isn't the end all be all. I just talked about that yesterday on a video I put out, or a reel, or a TikTok, or a short, whatever you want to call it. Because there's so much more to this than just that number. Currently, just FYI, I am, well, almost 19 hours, but 18 hours and 18 hours, 55 minutes, 55 fasted. So I'm just coming off of a fast, or I'm coming off of a refeed that happened last night. I'm going to talk about last night's refeed. I'm going to talk a lot about imperfect consistency. This is going to be a very difficult week for me. Difficult couple weeks, since I'm going to be eating back-to-back days starting tomorrow. But currently at around 19 hours, my plan is to break tomorrow night, I think at around the 36-hour mark. And then I'm going to be eating for, I believe, 13 days in a row. This will probably be the longest I have eaten back-to-back days since I started my journey. I think the longest I've eaten back-to-back days was 10. So this is an additional 3 days on top of that. There is a little anxiety when it comes to that. And again, it's something that I'm going to discuss very, very soon at this point. So I'm going to do a fit check, which kind of sucks too, because fit check, I'm up in weight. And actually, let me go ahead and share that. Before I do fit check, let me share a couple more nerd stats. If you noticed, I put this here. I call it damage control, right? This screen's better. I put damage control, right? This is me accepting my weight gain and giving myself grace, especially with what's about to happen as I'm about to go on vacation. So this damage control has already started, because there has been a couple moments already where I have not been doing 65-hour fasts or my 42-hour fasts. Last Wednesday, this past Wednesday, I had an all-day refeed. If you see here on the 20th of November, I weighed in at 147 pounds. I only did a 34-hour fast. I had a 13-hour refeed, an all-day refeed, 13 hours. I put that video out of me sharing that. If any of you have missed it, you can check it on my YouTube, or you can check it on YouTube. But after that 13-hour refeed, I went from 147 to 154. I jumped up 7.2 pounds. And then I performed a 65-hour fast, which was yesterday. I did a 65-hour fast. I got down to, that shouldn't be 145. That should be 145.8 pounds, I believe. I lost 8.4 pounds yesterday. And then I had a 9-hour refeed. Yesterday, I went to the Bulls game. I broke my 65-hour fast, drinking liquor and, eating whatever. I went to a bar first, and then I ate at the Bulls game. So I didn't have the best choices of food. And then this morning I woke up and I weighed in at 153.2 pounds, which was a 7.4 pound gain. I say all of this because this is me trying to figure out how to deal with these things in my life. And these aren't bad things that are happening. I wanted to go to the Bulls game. I wanted to have an all-day refeed. I wanted to go out for pizza. I wanted to do all of these things. I want to go on vacation. I'm leaving the country on Tuesday. And I'm very excited for that. And I also know that I won't be able to fast for as long as I want to. Honestly, I don't want to fast for that long. I want to enjoy eating back to back days. And you'll see that I've done all these things. I had my all day refeed. I went to the Bulls game. I didn't eat the cleanest. But am I here throwing away the day? Am I here saying, oh, well, what's the point? Thanksgiving's coming. I might as well just eat whatever. No, right? I still got on after my all day refeed on Wednesday. I didn't just say, well, you know what? Thanksgiving's next week. So what's the point? After my all day refeed, I did a 65 hour fast, got back to my weight, and then I went to the Bulls game. And then me again, having a very long refeed, not eating the cleanest, but being okay with it. That's the hard part, I think, for a lot of us. We think we have to do these things picture perfect when they don't have to be. I will continue to show all of you time and time again that it's okay to be imperfect. I will show all of you that even though I gained 7, 8 pounds after a refeed, I do a 50, 60 hour fast, and most of that weight drops right back down. I'm not putting fat on. I'm almost always holding a lot of water. Before I get into Fit Check, I just wanted to share all of that because I'm going to get into that. I'm going to get more into that. But before I do, Mark with a $5 super chat. Mark, it's so nice to see you as always. Thank you so much for the support. Mark says, I hope you have a great vacation. Enjoy it and don't worry about the scale. That is my plan. I hate to say this though, Mark, but I'm actually bringing my scale with me. I haven't packed it yet, but hopefully it fits. We will get back on track. Exactly. We will. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone who celebrates. Mark, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for just being here and showing up as usual. Appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's do Fit Check. Yes, I am bloated today. I am 7 pounds up. So I'm not the leanest right now, but that's okay. I don't know if I have these other pictures here. Yes, I do. Again, I've shared this many times. I feel like I'm sharing it all the time at this point. But just FYI, for people who don't know, I've always been overweight. I've always been that kid who just could not. I guess I've just never been a skinny person my entire life, as a child, as a teenager, as an adult, as now a middle-aged man. Oh God, that sounds so weird. So yes, just FYI, that is me at the, I've weighed as much as 235 and I've weighed as little as 125 after I found fasting. I've only been low weight because of fasting and no other reason. Okay. So currently, right, I'm wearing this is a boys extra large shirt. I used to wear a double XL adult or an XL adult. I always had to buy a XL even though I'm short at 5'3". The reason I would have to buy those shirts that big is because my stomach was so big that it needed length to cover the entire belly. So now I wear an extra large, but it's a boy's extra large. My foot's asleep. Oh, don't you hate it when your foot? Oh, okay. So this is a boy's large shirt. You can also tell this is a very boys style shirt. I don't think they make adult shirts that are this color palette, but I like it. These jeans are actually not even men's jeans. These are boys' jeans. These are size 14 jeans. Here's the thing with these size 14 jeans for boys is I still have to wear a belt because this is still loose on me. Which is also really interesting that these jeans are still loose on me even after gaining 7 pounds and showing up at 154 whatever, right? That also goes to show that just because I'm 154 pounds, me 154 pounds 6 months ago is very different than the 154 pounds I am today because my body composition is different. There's a lot more muscle. It isn't like before where there was probably a difference of muscle and fat. So, right? Boys, extra large, boys, size 14 jeans, side shot. Okay. So, that's currently where I'm at. I will always bring this up because people will always ask me, they'll be like, Jerome, what about loose skin? Yes, I have loose skin. I will always point to my neck here. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the loose skin I have on my upper arms, but I have loose skin there. I have loose skin on my like lower stomach. I do wear this compression shirt, but I do have loose skin like around the lower stomach. I have loose skin on my like upper thighs that are here, and that's mostly where my loose skin is. I don't know if it's really gotten better over time. Let's not forget, I'm 43. I'm going to be 44 soon in how many days? Oh man, 44. I'm going to be 44 in a week and 2 days. My birthday's on December 3rd. And I won't even be here to celebrate. So I say that because maybe the loose skin also has to do with my age and the fact that I have weighed 100 pounds more at one point and have lost it and gained it and lost it and gained it. So sometimes I think that loose skin is inevitable, even with the fasting. I know there are people who are probably thinking, Jerome, just dry fast or like just fast and not drink a Diet Pepsi. And maybe, I'm sorry, I said Diet Pepsi, then I thought about the Diet Pepsi I was drinking. We'll see what it looks like. For the most part, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at, even though this is very insecure for me. Well, I mean, outside of surgery, there's not much else I can do. And I don't know if that's the route I want to go, if I ever want to get to that route. So I want to talk about the holidays and dealing with Thanksgiving and figuring out a plan, not just for me, but for anybody who's watching this. And if you're not celebrating Thanksgiving, this is also an opportunity to talk about when you do deal with the holidays, when you do deal with going to a family event or going on vacation or anything in that manner where you're going to get thrown off your schedule, where you're not doing the things that you normally do. I want to be able to talk about that because I think it's going to be really important. Abdi with a $5 super sticker. There you go. Abdi, thank you for the support. I appreciate you, Abdi. I don't know what that sticker looks like just yet, but I will look at it after the end of this live stream. Thank you so much for the support. As always, Abdi, it's so nice to see you. Okay, let's talk about these holidays. Thanksgiving has always, for me personally, in the past, Thanksgiving was always great because for me, it was just my mind was always set on food. What Thanksgiving meant to me was, oh man, I get to eat all of these foods that I love, and I'm just going to eat them all day. And usually, because Thanksgiving would fall on a Thursday, that meant Wednesday night, I would probably go hang out with other people and we would order food for the night. We would eat on Thanksgiving, then we would eat the entire weekend. That is how I used to live my life. It was always surrounded by food. Food was always the reward system. You just saw 285 days or 385 days that I've been performing rolling fasts. And for 249 of those days, I didn't eat. I didn't even eat last Thanksgiving. Food is no longer my constant reward system. Food doesn't have to be your constant reward system. Food doesn't always have to be the answer. Food doesn't have to be your emotional support. Food doesn't always have to be your comfort. Food doesn't always have to be your answer to boredom. Food doesn't always have to be your escape. Do I use food in those instances? Yes, every now and then. Obviously, I don't eat as often anymore. And yes, some of those days I use food for comfort. Sometimes I use food for celebratory purposes, but I don't use it as often as I used to. The holidays are a great way to be with loved ones, be with family, be with friends. And you can look at it in two ways. One, you can look at it as, yes, this is the time I'm going to eat. I want to enjoy time with family. I want to not worry about fasting. I want to enjoy the foods that I typically love eating. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there's also this other mindset where, okay, you can have those days, but does it have to be 3 days in a row, 5 days in a row? Or if you do decide to eat all of those days in a row, does every day have to be an all out feeding frenzy? There are so many ways to approach this. And I think, like many of you who might be watching, you might be in that camp of all or nothing, black or white, where it can only be one way or the other. And of course, you're talking to the king of all or nothing, the king of of black and white. And my mind just doesn't go there anymore. I still have those thoughts. It still comes and goes, but I don't think that way anymore. Not in that extreme capacity at this point. Wanda with a $10 super chat. Wanda, thank you so much for the support. It's so nice to see you as always. Wanda says, cut my last fast early today at 44 and a half hours. Now 4 hours into a 48-hour fast. Aired up the tires of my bicycle and did a 6-mile ride. Congrats. Still 4 pounds up from my refeed. Currently at 163 pounds. Thank you for your posts. You're very welcome. This is a perfect example, right? Wanda's talking about how she cut her last fast early at 44 and a half hours. Maybe, right? Cutting early meant it was a 48-hour fast. I know there are some people who will maybe hit 44 and a half hours and then feel like they didn't do what they were supposed to do. And then that becomes an opportunity to now overeat or forget something else that you wanted to do. When I say forget, I mean that you're just purposely not doing it. It's so easy, I think, for many of us to make an excuse or to tell ourselves, convince ourselves that we don't have to do this anymore because you know what? We didn't get to whatever goal. When in reality, what you should be doing is accepting the fact that this is what's happened and it's going to be okay. And it shouldn't stop you from still taking care of yourself, doing the other things that you know are good for you. and moving on with your life, right? Keep it moving. Anyway, we'll continue to get into this. Wanda, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I appreciate the support as always. Mark, with a $5 super chat. Hi, Mark. How's it going? Hi, Finally Fasting fam. Just checking in. Mark, it's so nice to see you as always. Let's finish strong this week. The holidays are upon us. I completely agree. I mean, for me, my holidays are starting early. I literally am starting tomorrow. I'll get into that in a minute. But Mark, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Mark, it's always nice to see you here. Appreciate you. Thank you for always continuously supporting. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So, holidays, that's what I was talking about. Maybe the first thing to think about when it comes to the holidays is, let's just say this, is to set realistic expectations, right? If you want to push during the holidays, by all means. I'm trying to even remember what I did last year. I'm about to check my own spreadsheet. When was Thanksgiving last year? I should have actually put this on the notes. That would have been nice. So last year, Thanksgiving was on the 23rd of November. And okay, I have to share this. Let me see if I can share this. So I will share with you what my spreadsheet looks like. I think some of you have access to my spreadsheet here for those that I coach, but let me just share with you what mine looks like. Let me see if I can share this. Okay. Okay. So this is me last year, really pushing. Oops, this is too big. Okay. Last year on Thanksgiving, which was November 23rd, I was in the middle of a 163-hour fast. I had just completed a 96-hour fast. I think, I just hit 199 pounds. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to fast this entire time. I'm not going to eat on Thanksgiving. I ended up doing a 163-hour fast with a 3-hour and 54-minute refeed. And I celebrated my mom's birthday that day and dropped 9 pounds. So here's the thing. If you want to push, push. If you can do it, that's great. I love that for you. Always amazed at anyone who's able to push, especially during times like this. On the other side of things, I want you to be able to accept the fact that if you don't fast for as long as you intended to, there's nothing wrong with that either. If you know you are going to be celebrating Thanksgiving, celebrate Thanksgiving. If you know that you're probably going to eat the day after, go eat the day after. Set realistic expectations for yourself. Maybe that's going to mean you're going to do a 36-hour fast until Thanksgiving, and then you're going to do an OMAD the day after Thanksgiving, or a 16-8, or a 20-hour fast. Set a realistic expectation for yourself, or give yourself a real challenge, but have a backup plan ready. What are you going to do if you can't do a 36-hour fast before Thanksgiving, a 65-hour fast before Thanksgiving, a 90-hour fast before Thanksgiving? What are you going to do if you can't? I'll tell you what you're going to do. You're going to hit your timer, you're going to refeed, and then you're going to hit your timer again, and you're going to keep going. You're going to practice imperfect consistency. Sometimes setting realistic expectations can be less stressful. Sometimes when we give ourselves these huge challenges and we're maybe biting off more than we can chew, we beat ourselves up and then say, okay, well, I can't do this. So what's the point? Now I'm just going to overeat. I'm just going to binge. I'm just going to not care about my health and wellness, when it doesn't have to be that way. So if you can set a challenge for yourself, but also give yourself a backup plan and also not beat yourself up about it, I see nothing wrong with that. But if you feel like setting yourself up with this huge challenge is going to maybe be a trigger for you, set a realistic expectation. It doesn't, maybe the question is, what is the hurry? Are you trying to get, and maybe you are. Maybe you're like, Jerome, I have this thing. I want to look good by Christmas. I want to, trust me, I get it. I've been there. But also remember that if you're that person that's going to throw away the day because you didn't do as planned, you're just digging yourself a deeper hole. Practice imperfect consistency instead. Athena became a new YouTube member. Athena, I feel like you have been, right? Anyway, Athena, thank you so much for being part of the Finally Fasting fam again, or I believe you have been. Can we throw some F's up for Athena, those who are already part of the Finally Fasting fam? If any of you are interested in being part of the fam, you can see, or there is a link in the description. It's a way to support me, but also if you join the autophagy group, you can come in for the Wednesday night live stream. So Athena, thank you so much for being a YouTube member or part of the Finally Fasting fam. Thank you so much. So when it comes to setting realistic expectations and being okay with imperfection, let me share with you yesterday for me. I went to the Bulls game. I did a 65-hour fast. And then when I got to the Bulls game, well, even before the Bulls game, I met my friends at a bar. I broke, and again, this is just me being transparent. You can judge me if you'd like, but this is my life. And I'm not saying you have to live this way. But after I completed my 65-hour fast, I broke my fast with a whiskey. It's one of my go-to drinks. I broke with a whiskey. And then I was like, okay, let me go eat. I look at the menu. They had everything there. There was just a ton of different food, a ton of bar food. The first thing I got to eat, Brussels sprouts. They had crispy Brussels sprouts there. I could have ordered anything. I could have ordered cheese sticks. I could have ordered calamari. I could have ordered a slice of cheesecake if I wanted to. But I ordered Brussels sprouts. Why? Because for me, one, I love Brussels sprouts, but two, this is me making a different decision that I probably would have never made a year ago or 2 years ago. This is me telling myself I can eat anything I want, but why not try to eat something that's maybe a little more nutrient dense? So I ordered crispy Brussels sprouts. They were great. Afterwards, I could have ordered a burger. I could have ordered, my friend next to me had a Cubano. Someone else ordered a deep dish pizza. I ordered a Caesar salad and I asked them to put grilled chicken in it. Why? Because I like Caesar salad and I like grilled chicken. And I can't even I can't even really explain why my head is going there now. I enjoy these foods. I feel like it's better than eating whatever. Here's the thing. After I ate all of that, I was still hungry because you know how I am with my refeed. I ordered a basket of fries. Got a basket of fries, ate it with ketchup. It was great. I haven't had fries in a minute. Loved it. They even, I think they seasoned it with sugar and salt and some other spices, and it was very good. And I had a beer, went to the game. ordered chicken tenders and fries. I ate a bag of popcorn, Garrett's popcorn it was caramel corn and cheddar. So it was like a mix. Some healthy stuff, some not. Imperfect consistency. Not even in just fasting, but even the way I ate. Later on in the evening after the game, well, I did have another friend of mine offer me some Oreos at their house. So I had some Oreos and then I ate my standard meal. I had eggs and rice and tomatoes and mushrooms and Italian sausage. And I had a protein bar. I had some macadamia cookies. And then that was the end of my night. And it was a 9-hour refeed. A 9-hour refeed. Did I say, well, there goes my day. It's shot. Let's just eat today? I fasted today. I woke up this morning. I went for a 5-mile walk. I lifted weights because I ate the day before and I had calories in me. This is me being okay with what I'm doing. This is me accepting the fact that some days are going to be better fasting days. Some days are going to be short ones. Some days I'm going to eat cleaner than the others. But you know, the thing that I don't do, I no longer, I guess what I'm trying to say is I show up. No matter what happens, I show up. I am accountable. I am accountable to you. I'm accountable to the people I coach today. I'm accountable to the people I coached yesterday. I show up to every meeting because for me, that accountability is so important. That accountability keeps me in check. That accountability lets me know that I can be honest with what I'm doing, share where I'm at, how I look, standing up there saying, hey, this is where I'm at right now. It's okay. I'll share this with you too. When I used to refeed, I didn't want to go to the gym the next day because I always felt bloated. I felt like, oh man, I just feel fat. I don't want to go lift weights. And sometimes I would not lift the day after a refeed. And then I realized how stupid that was because that's when I should be lifting weights. That's when I should be taking the opportunity to use the calories I've eaten. So now I don't care if I gain 7 pounds or 8 pounds. I'm going to get myself to the gym and I'm going to take advantage of the calories I've eaten because I want to continue to build muscle and lose excess body fat. Oh, goodness. Andre. Hi, Andre. Andre with a $10 super chat. Andre, thank you so much. J-Man, from last Thanksgiving to now, you really put in the work. Appreciate that, Andre. Thank you. You really pay your dues. Also, that belt you were wearing at Fit Check has a Louis Vuitton vibe. It's a belt from Target. I believe it's Goodfellows. It was probably like $15, just FYI. Well, Andre, thank you for the $10 super chat. Andre, thank you for being here as always. Thank you for the continued support. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Andre. Thank you again. Also, Brandy with a $10 super chat. Brandy, thank you for the $10 super chat. Thank you for the support. Hi, Jerome. Thank you for your imperfect consistency. You're very welcome. Hopefully it resonates with you. It sounds like that it does. I'm still around. It's nice to see you. I recently gone through a divorce and I'm finding my way back. I'm going to join the Finally Fasting fam to hold myself accountable. And I see that you have. Brandy, thank you for being a Finally Fasting fam member or whatever you want to call it. Please, can we throw some F's up for Brandy? Brandy, you have this F emoji too, so feel free. Thank you for being part of the Finally Fasting fam. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Just let me, I'm not here to dig into your private life, and obviously I hope all of you know that, but obviously a divorce or something like that, a personal matter like that can be very, very stressful. It can be for many of us when something like that happens, or I'm sure many of us who have been in a relationship and have broken up or have experienced heartbreak, it can lead to really bad habits, really bad behaviors. Sometimes it can have the opposite effect of now really trying to get your shit together and working out super hard or eating super clean. But either way, I think it's still stressful in nature. And I think during those stressful moments, it's also good practice to learn how to deal with it in a way where food isn't our reward system. So I appreciate you, Brandy, for the support. Thank you for being very open and vulnerable with what's going on. Hopefully things continue to get better. I know that they will. And I look forward to seeing you probably at the next live stream. FYI, because I'm going to be out of the country though for the next 2 weeks, there won't be those Wednesday live streams, but I will be returning as soon as I get back. So Brandy, thank you again for the support. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Okay, so let's talk about imperfect consistency. Let me drive this point home. For a lot of us who think black and white, for a lot of us who think all or nothing, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to drill this into your head as well. Perfection is not the goal. Perfection will never be the goal. Got it? Perfection is not the goal. Your journey isn't meant to be perfect. Your journey is meant to have ups and downs. Your journey is meant to stumble. Your journey, in a lot of ways, is meant to fail so you can learn from it. I've said this many times before. If you say you're going to do a 168-hour fast and you complete a 168-hour fast, that is incredible. That is amazing. Kudos to you for being able to do something so difficult. At the same time, if you say you're going to do a 168-hour fast and you end up doing an OMAD, a 23, if you end up overeating, these are the real moments that equally count. These are the moments where you learn from what you're doing. How did you feel? Why do you think it went that way? What can you do to continue on? What is the action that happens after knowing that you didn't get to the goal that you wanted? Many of us just quit or run away or hide, pretend it never happened, tell yourself, I'm going to get back to it, but just not right now. Instead of possibly just facing the facts at hand. And here's the thing is, for some of us too, if we're feeling burnt out, if we're feeling like we need a break, if we need to take a step back, there's nothing wrong with that either. But I don't think it means that the journey ends. I don't think it means that the journey restarts. That black or white thinking, the all or nothing thinking, it has to go. Like, for me, it's a very hard pill to swallow because I'm not used to just thinking that way. But perfection will never be the goal. It will never be the goal in what you're doing. You will never have a perfect journey. You will never have a trajectory that is going to be just a straight line up, or in our cases, a straight line down when it comes to our weight. I've shown this before, and I don't know if I'll be able to share it properly on the screen here. Oops, why did I do that? That's not what I meant to do. But what I wanted to share is, if I can get to it. Is this chart. Yes, it had a very big dip at the very beginning, but you can see it go up and down and up and down. And it's because my journey will never be perfect. It also doesn't mean that I'm going to blow up this chart and say, let's just start all over, because that would be ridiculous. Just like your journey would be ridiculous if you just decided to start over every single week every 2 weeks, every month, walk away from it for 3 weeks. Why are you putting all that work in? Why are you filling out a chart? Why are you doing all of this if you're just going to walk away from it? I know that it's probably going to be different from person to person, that it varies from person to person. But for me, logging my data, even if I'm only doing a 12-hour fast, even if I have a 13-hour refeed like I have, for me to hit a timer and log it, that's my way of being consistent. That's my way of being accountable. That's my way of being transparent. It's also a really great way to look back at my data and be like, oh shit, this is what I did then. This is when I was pushing really hard. Just like I shared on, can I still share that screen again? Where the hell is this? Did I close my own spreadsheet? Okay. Just like I shared earlier, right? Wait, am I not sharing? Where is this now? Oh, here we go. If you look at my spreadsheet, when I started, you will see how determined I was. 96, 163, 94 fast, 94 fast, 94 fast, 88, 95, 92, 92, 91, 89, 141, 90, 94, 88, 93. But you'll see that even then, like these 90-hour fasts weren't exactly 90. Some of them were a little shorter. I think I even remember feeling guilty about doing something that wasn't as long because I still had that all or nothing mentality. 66 got thrown in there. I guess I think for a lot of us, we have to get out of that not habit, that thinking of like everything has to be this perfect type of deal. Um, it never will. It never will be. And I think the sooner you can accept that, the sooner you can tell yourself, hey, I just got to keep pushing on this journey is going to be the real like success story that maybe you are looking for, that you know that you have in you. You just might be looking at it in a different light when I guess it doesn't have to be sorry, I'm like trying to find my notes because I shared my screen and then now I lost where I was at. Okay, there I go. Oh, geez, Aiden. Aiden just gifted 5 memberships. Aiden, thank you so much for gifting memberships. I don't know who got those memberships, but please give Aiden some thanks. Aiden, thank you for gifting 5 memberships to others. I don't know exactly which one you did, but thank you. Can we throw some F's up for Aiden for gifting 5 memberships to other people on here? Aiden, thank you so much for the support. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Aiden says, happy holidays, Jerome in chat. Aiden, thanks again. I appreciate that. I mean, you know, that'll be great for other people in here. So thank you so much. Thank you for gifting those. Okay. I want to, I'm just like looking at my notes here to make sure that I'm going through everything properly. When it comes to imperfect consistency, this might be common knowledge, but giving effort, giving some effort, even a tiny amount of effort is better than giving up entirely. We know this. We all know this. Why would you completely give up everything just because the effort wasn't what you expected? Is it the all or nothing thinking that's really hindering you? Or is it because you feel overwhelmed and you just feel like, the hell with this, I don't want to do anything. If I can't do it perfect, then I'm not going to do it at all. And maybe the real conversation needs to be had is, are you doing this because you're just trying to find a way out? This is too hard for you right now. This is too difficult that you're just trying to find a way to eat right now. and forget about everything. That's a coming to conversation or coming to life, or what's the whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's a conversation that you have to have with yourself. Am I pushing too hard? Because if you feel like you are, if you feel like it's overwhelming, why are you not practicing imperfect consistency? Why are you not just practicing, I can't fast for that long. Let me take care of all the other things. Let me make sure I hit my timer. Let me make sure I do all of these other things that are helpful for me, instead of just spiraling out completely and not accepting a shorter fast. Or if you decide to break early, that you give yourself a shorter refeed. With Thanksgiving coming, if you're that person on Thanksgiving that is mindlessly eating the entire day, why? Why can't it just be, okay, I'm going to eat on Thanksgiving for the next 2 hours or for just one meal? I might get 2 helpings, 3 helpings, but that's it for me. Why can't it just be that? Why does it have to be, I'm going to eat from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m.? And again, if that is your decision, that is your decision. But there are other ways to go about this. Mindful choices, obviously, smaller portions. Again, these are things that are very common sense, but sometimes a reminder might be helpful. Or knowing that you've had that food, the calories in you, then it's time to go work out, to strength train, to get an extra 20 minutes of a walk in. Let me ask, I'm curious for people who are in here. Are there some of you right now who are fasting and you've told yourself you're going to fast until Thanksgiving? Because this is a strategy that I continuously use for myself. If I know there's an event coming, or I know that I have to do something on a particular day, I will usually time my fasts out so that I can then eat on a particular day, which is also another strategy. So if you're worried about Thanksgiving right now and you are used to doing 90-hour fasts, 72-hour fasts, 65s, whatever that might be, maybe the strategy here is to set a time or a day, or you're already doing it right now, to fast until Thanksgiving. Because then on Thanksgiving, you can enjoy yourself and it doesn't have to feel guilty and it feels like you've accomplished something. So it might not be for everyone, but also obviously a very good strategy when it comes to dealing with the holidays. Because then you're not eating every single day. You're not eating every day up until Thanksgiving. Instead, you're giving yourself some time in between and hopefully after. I said this earlier, but I was talking about reward systems. Food for many of us is a reward system. We are always using food as a reward. I know Thanksgiving, there's always the conversation about the food on Thanksgiving, and food is that automatic reward system. This isn't even going to be for Thanksgiving, but just in general. Do you have other reward systems? Or are you in a place right now where your reward system is only food? If you're sitting here and you're saying, Jerome, what other reward systems are there? There are so many other ones. Sometimes the reward system for me, I'll give you my examples of reward systems. Now that I don't use food every day, just like today, I'm not eating today. What would my reward systems be for getting through a day of fasting instead of eating as a reward? Sometimes it's renting a new movie on some platform. I don't know, Amazon or Max or whatever. Renting a movie I've been wanting to see, or subscribing to a platform for the month, or going to Target and buying a new boys shirt. or a pair of pants or buying something that I've been wanting for a while. I'm not saying that spending money is the only reward system, but for me, I would rather do that than break my fast early. There are obviously other reward systems. Right now my head is into like I've said this to people before. Sometimes getting a massage, right? Like that's a different reward system. Something where, and let's not forget, when it comes to Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving is also time to be with family and friends and loved ones. And in a way, that should be a reward of its own. And I'm sure there's some of you that are like, no, Jerome, that's awful. I just want to eat, which, okay. Some people not, some people might not want to do Thanksgiving in that way, where they'd rather not go. But I guess what I'm trying to say is there are other reward systems when it comes to this. I talk about like drinking a diet Pepsi. And for me, that's a reward system in its own. It means that, hey, I would rather drink this and give this to myself as a reward instead of just using food and breaking completely. Think about the other reward systems when you are on your journey. Because if you think food is the only thing that will give you happiness, if you think food is the only thing that will give you comfort, if you think food is the only thing that will help you in what you're doing, you have this, you have it wrong. You're in a place where if food is the only thing that you are relating to anything in your life, perfect example, and I'm sure many of you can agree with this, okay? There is the expectation that after a long day of work, after a stressful day of work, that you have to sit on a couch, put on your favorite show, and eat. Many of us feel this way. Many of us, I'm sure some of you are thinking about that right now, and you're like, yes, that is exactly what I'd like to do. Just wear the comfiest clothes ever, watch whatever mind numbing thing there is that you enjoy watching, and eating your favorite foods. I'm sure I'm even saying that, and you're just like, yes, that's exactly what I want. And I'm going to remind you that a big reason that many of you probably feel that way is because it's a habit. You have habitualized that. That is a habit that you've been doing over and over and over, and you are stacking these rewards, right? You're giving yourself the ultimate pleasure of having all of this when it doesn't always have to be this way. Obviously, it's not for me because I've only eaten 130, what is it, 6 times in the last 385 days. So sometimes for me, it's wearing comfy clothes, getting on this couch, drinking a diet Pepsi, and watching some mind numbing show. That's my reward. But food isn't involved. I can guarantee you this. If you stop using food as a reward for every single fucking thing that you do, you will start to break that habit. In a lot of ways, it sounds like a really bad addiction, doesn't it? But Jerome, I need to eat every day. Okay, that's up to you. If you're going to eat every day, hopefully most of those days are lower calorie and really clean, because I can't see somebody doing that every day and not putting weight on. Everyone's journey is going to be different. We all approach this in different ways. I am just trying to give the tools and knowledge that I can for anybody that might be helpful, or anybody that this might be helpful for. Alina with a $5 super chat. Alina, it's so nice to see you. Thank you for the support. Always great seeing you. Alina says, ADF is working better than OMAD for my binging. That's great. You inspire me to keep going, even after my reaching maintenance, then gaining a bit of weight again. Alina, I'm a little curious. So for the binging, and excuse me everyone, this might be a coaching moment here, but is the binging still something that's happening regularly? Was OMAD triggering you to overeat? Is that what was happening? Alina, thank you for the $5 super chat. I guess I'm just asking out of curiosity and asking as somebody that wants to help. I think you also know that gaining a bit of weight is going to happen. We're all going to go through that. It's just part of what our journey looks like. So, I love that ADF is working for you though. ADF is my ultimate goal. For those that might not know, ADF is what, if it was up to me, I would love to just do ADF and be able to eat every other day. But I'm at this place right now where that isn't the easiest. I want to share one more thing here. Oh no, did I lose my? Oh no, I'm right here. Okay. Alina says, I think it mentally has to do with eating dinners. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of that reward system in a way where it's a trigger, it sounds like. So you'll have to keep me posted, Alina. Again, thank you though for the $5 super chat. I'm glad that I can continue to inspire with where you're at. I want to bring up this damage control thing again because I want to share with you all why things are going to be pretty difficult for me. So for me, tomorrow I'm starting my vacation because it's my mom's birthday and I'm taking my mom out for dinner. And then the day after, on the 26th, I'm going to Japan and I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks and I'm going to be eating 13 days in a row. And this is why I am very nervous because I haven't eaten this many times in a row back to back. And I don't know what the scale is going to look like. But I know that no matter what happens, I will continue to hit the timer. Just like tomorrow, when I finish my 36-hour fast, I'm going to hit the timer. I'm going to refeed. I'm going to have dinner with my mom. I will probably continue to eat and eat more nutrient dense foods later after dinner. And then I fly out the next day to go to Japan. I don't think I've shared publicly that I'm going to Japan, and I'm very excited, but I'm also very nervous about eating every single day. I don't know what that's going to look like, but my plan is to document what I eat. My plan is to also document what the weight on the scale says. I am taking my scale with me because I need to know. And then figure out what the plan is when I come home, which obviously will be fasting. I have a rough idea of what my plan is when I get back in December of getting back into fasting. But right, so here I am that earlier this week, I had an all-day refeed. I went to the Bulls game. My mom's birthday is tomorrow. I'm taking her out for dinner. And then for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be eating every day while I'm out of the country. I'm going to be eating on the plane. I'm going to be eating in different cities in Japan. I'm not going to be lifting weights. I will probably be doing a lot of walking, but my plan is to actually not lift weights. I want to take the time to get some rest because I've been lifting pretty consistently now for a while. So I want to give myself a break. And my plan is to then lift when I get back. But I don't know what the scale is going to look like. I don't know how things are going to go. But I'm going to continue hitting the timer. I'm going to try to be mindful about my food choices. I want to make sure I don't just continuously snack all day, every day. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what any of this looks like. I do have plans. I do want to approach it in a better manner than I have these past vacations. and I think I will be able to for the most part, but I know myself. I know that maybe I'll be good for a day or two, and then things start to like really unravel where it's just like, okay, I'm just going to continue eating. I'm going to continue eating. And that's where I'm going to have to like learn and figure it out. But I'm going to document it all. So I'll have a video out when I return that will share all of that. So just FYI, that's kind of where I'm at this point. And that's why I wanted to talk about Thanksgiving and vacation and how to deal with those things, because this is going to be a new test for me. This is going to be, and this is also what I love is that I've had past vacations now. I think I ate 10 days in a row. I ate 6 days in a row. And I think there was another time where I ate 10 days in a row. And I've had experience doing this and I've learned from it. And I've known that even though I'll gain 21 pounds in 10 days, I'll lose 15 of those pounds 2 days later, 3 days later. And that's my hope with this too. And I think that's all I have when it comes to that. I'm open to talking about Thanksgiving and vacation. So if you have any questions, this is where I will take time to answer questions. It doesn't even have to be about Thanksgiving. If you just have questions in general, please feel free to ask. You can ask that now. I will go through Q&A. So this is your time to ask and I'll answer what I can. In the meantime, I will also say, if you are looking for any type of coaching, whether it comes to fasting or weight loss or accountability, which is what most people come to me for, is accountability coaching. But yes, I will also answer any questions. You can go to this link or you can click the link in the description that will get you to my calendar to sign up for any type of coaching. It is one-on-one. We talk about plans and strategies and answer any questions you might have, even if it comes to nutrition or working out. These are things that I've been paying a lot more attention to. I am not an expert by any means, but I am also somebody who's been through it. I've been somebody who's lost the weight and then gained it all and then lost it all again. I am very big when it comes to the mental part of this. I am very big when it comes to imperfect consistency, and I'm really big when it comes to accountability. If you are looking for accountability, if you want to really understand what it's like to show up and have a conversation and talk about the ups and downs, please feel free to take a look at that. At the same time, there's also a link in the description. Other people have done this earlier in the stream where you can join the Finally Fasting fam. If you join the autophagy group every Wednesday, except for these next 2 Wednesdays, since I'm going to be out of the country, we have Wednesday night live streams where we all collectively share a spreadsheet. We talk about where we're at and what we're doing and holding ourselves accountable and talking to each other. It's a great small community. So if that's something you'd love to do or just support, there's a link there too. So please feel free to check that out. Okay. I will answer questions at this point. Patrick, hi Patrick. Patrick asks, maybe eat just once a day in Japan. I've thought about that. I've also thought about a TUMAD. I have also realized that, so for me, usually on vacation, I feel like once I start eating, I'm just going to eat continuously day in and day out and eat whatever and have no regard. And I've just recently taught myself, wait, it doesn't have to be like that every day. I don't have to do that just because I'm on vacation. So maybe this is something I'm going to practice. We'll see if I'm actually able to do it, but I guess you'll all find out too, since I'm going to be documenting the entire process. But Patrick, thank you for the question. It's nice seeing you here. Joel says, dumb question. Can you travel with protein powder to a foreign country? Actually, I'm not sure. And protein is something that I have been taking regularly now for, I don't know how long, the last 2 months or so. But I don't think I'm going to be bringing protein with me. I didn't think about that. I don't know if it's something that you can bring. Maybe it is, but I actually have no intention of bringing protein with me. But now that you say that, maybe that's something I should look into. Or I will just look for protein snacks in Japan. That would also really be interesting for content. We'll see. But that I don't think it's a dumb question. I think that's a good question because I have no idea. I have no idea. Reddit Tales. Hi, Reddit Tales. I don't think I've seen you here before. Hi, I hope you're doing well. I am. I was just wondering, how should I know, or how can I know what time is good for me to start my fast? Do you prefer something? Reddit Tales, the time for you that's good is whenever you're ready. I don't prefer anything when it comes to starting your fast. I've said this, and for anybody who might be curious, if you sleep, you're already fasting. If you decide to sleep at 10 p.m., 11 p.m., and you're sleeping from 11 p.m. until, let's say, 6:30 a.m., well, you've already just fasted. The real question is, do you decide to extend that fast and go longer? Maybe you do that, skip breakfast. There you go. You're at a 12, 16-hour fast, depending on your sleep and how long you've, eaten your next meal. The best answer for this is you're going to have to figure out what that journey looks like. I think some people who come to me or ask questions like this or come for coaching, they think that I'm going to have a plan for them in that way, and that's not really how it works. I think for a lot of us, the way that we fast and eat and exercise, I like to have a conversation so that you can figure out what truly works for you, trial and error, experiment with it, log the data down with the spreadsheet that I give you, and then we can go over that. And that's kind of how I feel that works the best. My best answer for you, Reddit Tales, is just start. Just start. Hit the timer. Just start going fast for as long as you can. When you think you can't go any longer, break, refeed, go again. Practice imperfect consistency. Build your fasting muscle. Build your fasting experience. Hopefully that was helpful, Reddit Tales. Thank you for the question. Also, Price Man with a $5 super chat. Price Man 5, thank you so much. So nice to see you as always. Thank you for the support. Appreciate you. Hi, Jerome. What do you do when eating fully takes over your thoughts? For me, it happens around the 50-hour mark. I'm full stop. Thanks for everything. You're very welcome, for one. But okay, so here's something to try. When eating is fully consuming you, when it is taking over your thoughts, like you say here, sometimes one of the things to think about doing is, have you ever timed how long you're actually having these thoughts for? Have you actually timed how hungry you are? I'm not saying this is going to fix it, but sometimes a lot of us notice that we're only hungry for 5 minutes or 15 minutes. And then the thoughts come and go, and then you can move on about your day. The ghrelin passes, that hunger fades, and then you're good. Obviously, this might not be the best answer either. I have put a video out that talks about how to overcome hunger. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's something to check out too. Back when I was taking electrolytes during my fast, I would just put a pinch of salt under my tongue. That would be helpful. Or I would put a pinch of no salt, which is a potassium supplement that tastes like salt. Put that under my tongue. That would be helpful. Drinking a black iced coffee helps. Drinking a diet Pepsi for me is a good way to get the hunger pangs gone. Watching TV, keeping busy, going for a walk, getting some air. If you are somebody who is just waiting for time to pass by, and I'm sure you've heard me say this, Priceman 5, because I know you're here pretty regularly. I think the hardest part for a lot of us when it comes to the hunger is when we're just stuck at home and we're bored and we have nothing to do and we're not keeping ourselves busy. Keeping busy is probably one of the best things for me. It's one of the reasons I coach 7 days a week. It's one of the reasons I create content, because my mind is always going. I always have something to do. So I would maybe try to take a look at those things, take a look at my video. And also, anybody who's asking these questions, I hope people who are here in the chat, please share your thoughts, share what's helpful for you. I know that I might have guidance and I can try to answer what I can, but I know there's a lot of people here too with a lot of great advice. So please feel free. Priceman5, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hopefully that was helpful. Priceman5 also says using your mantra or what will happen if I don't eat helps a lot. If many of you are unfamiliar with this, yes, this is something that might be helpful for you as well. If you are somebody who is struggling with hunger, even right now, I do ask that question. Okay, so what happens if you don't eat? If you're so hungry right now and you don't eat, what's the worst thing that's going to happen to you? 99 times out of 100, that answer is nothing. Nothing is going to happen to you. What? You're going to be hungry? Is that the worst thing that's going to happen to you? Followed by, okay, if nothing's going to happen to you, can you get off the couch you're sitting on? Can you get up from the chair you're sitting on? Can you roll out of bed? Can you text a friend? Can you go to the bathroom? I ask those questions because what I'm really trying to ask is, can you still function as a human being? Can you still do things even though you're hungry? Which 99 times out of 100, you can. Now, if the answer to this is no, Jerome, I can't roll out of bed. No, it's awful. I can't, like, I have all, then break your fast. Go break your fast. If it's that bad, if you're struggling that bad, break your fast. But if it's all in your head and you're just hungry, you have other things that, like, that it isn't the worst thing in the world, is what I'm trying to say. Just FYI. Priceman5, thank you again for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. Steven. Hi, Steven. Have you heard about fast mimicking meal plans? The focus isn't on weight loss, although it happens, but allows you to eat about 750 calories while achieving autophagy for those focused on disease reversal. I haven't heard about those meal plans. I think I've heard maybe like somebody talking about it, but I don't know exactly how they work. So the focus isn't on weight loss, but it's about activating autophagy, is what you're saying, right? I haven't heard. I mean, I don't know exactly what that entails, but that's definitely something to take a look at, especially for people who might be watching this who have already maintained their weight and who just want to get the effects of autophagy. I'll definitely look into it, but thank you for that. I haven't really looked into it though. Steven says, more importantly, how many hats did you get at the Bulls game? There were no hats. They didn't give hats away. It was city jersey night, or Windy City. They gave shirts away, but let me get the shirt. Sorry, everyone. So they gave shirts away at the Bulls game yesterday. And they gave away like this. I know it's super wrinkly, I'm sorry. But and it was celebrating 30 years at United Center. What's so funny though is, like, when you get the shirts there, you can't pick a size. So they just give you a large. And so this is a large adult shirt. Let me just share with you, just so you know what a large adult shirt looks like versus what I currently wear. I should just put it on, actually. I haven't even put it on. This was sitting in a bag. So this is, again, an adult large. It's pretty big. It's we'll just call it a collectible. It's a collectible. The shirt is very big. The shirt is so big on me. So yes, this is why I don't wear adult clothes anymore, because they're just so big. Okay, let me ask. Oh, now my hair's all messed up. Whatever, it's fine. Uh, Anthony, is that Anthony 777? My head feels like it's gonna explode day one when I fast. Is there a supplement besides salt you recommend? I mean, I used to take potassium. I used to take something called no salt. Actually, I have it. This is a potassium supplement, which also tastes like salt. So I would put this under my tongue as well. And then I used to take magnesium citrate in a capsule form. Uh, your head feels like it's going to explode. But the thing is, I'm also wondering, does your head feel like does your head feel like it's going to explode because you are going through withdrawal? Is your body detoxing? Is it because you haven't had carbs and you're going through carb withdrawal? Is it because you're not drinking caffeine and you're having caffeine withdrawal? If that's something you're going through, that might be something that you're just going to have to like tough it out. Also, remember, if you're overweight or you're obese or you're morbidly obese and you feel like your head's going to explode, I mean, the way I think about this is if you've hydrated and you've taken your supplements, you just got to tough it out. You're going to be fine. If you feel like you can't crawl out of bed, you can't function like a human being, then that's a different story. Maybe not the best answer, but maybe other people in chat can help you with that. Fasting Breakfast asks, happy I caught the live today, Jerome. Question, does it mean you won't be doing Sunday live streams until you're back from vacation? So the answer to that is yes. Now, I haven't thought about this, or I have thought about this. I might pre-record something maybe while I'm on the plane ride, because it's like I think it's a 12-hour ride on the plane. I might record something, or I might do something tomorrow before I go and then just release it on Sunday as a live stream so you can all still get together and chat and talk, and I will just put a topic to discuss. So I might do that. If you guys want something like that, maybe I'll try to do that. I don't know. You guys let me know if that sounds good. Even if it doesn't sound good, I might still do it. So it's really up to me. But yes, for the most part, I will not be live next Sunday, but maybe I'll put some new content out for all of you just to watch and get together. If this is what you're used to doing on Sundays, I feel like a lot of us now are doing that. It just feels like a normal Sunday thing. Alina says, will you be setting any boundaries or goals during the 2 weeks? Any examples of mindful eating? So I think this is actually a really great question, Alina. I think these are things that I haven't had concrete answers for, but definitely something I'm going to be mindful of during those 2 weeks when I'm gone. So I don't know if I have any per se at the moment, but definitely something that I will talk about during my, as I document the process. Hopefully that makes sense. Ariel asks, yeah, will there be any lives from Japan? No, there won't, just because we have like a really big itinerary, and I think 7:30 p.m. here is 10:30 a.m. I think in Japan, and I think every single day we're doing something. So, but like I said, maybe I'll have some pre-recorded stuff out. Vicky, hi Vicky, nice to see you. Jerome, this is about getting sick. Have you gotten sick like with the flu while on your I'm guessing you're asking if I've been sick while I'm fasting. The answer to that is yes, but and here's me knocking on wood, I don't get sick often. I've actually noticed as I've been fasting for this last year, I don't think I've really gotten sick. And you know how that's proof is I've been posting for over a year, and I've done every single Sunday night live stream unless I said I wasn't going to. There have been times where I felt like something was coming on, like I either felt like a sore throat coming on, or my nose was a little runny. But I'll just say this: anytime I start to feel sick, I immediately go into fasting mode. I will purposely, like, really, really buckle down and fast and not drink any diet, whatever. I'm just strictly doing water. I think about it in this way when, like, I see, maybe some of you have heard me say this before, when a lion gets sick or like an animal gets sick, they don't go around eating a bunch of food, eating chicken noodle soup or whatever, right? When animals get sick, they usually just rest and drink water. And that's basically what I do. And I've noticed when I do that, like, I only feel those symptoms for like a day or two and then they're gone. I don't know. I'm not saying that's the answer. This shirt looks ridiculous on me. I had to take it off. I'm not saying that's the answer. I'm just saying that that's what I do. That's what's been helpful for me. Thanks for the question, Vicky. Thank you for the question. I'm here, Jerome. Hi, George. Nice to see you as always. Anthony says, can you go deeper on the supplements? It's not the hunger for me, it's the lack of function for the beginner. Yeah, like I said, I mean, I shared the ones that I use. I just use regular table salt. I don't even use anything super special. Yes, I do have Himalayan salt or whatever. And so I just have it because that's, I think, what other people use. But like table salt with iodine, iodine's really important if you're going to do like longer fasts. I have this, whatever this is called, and it's annoying me. Oh, well. I don't know if you need more info on that, Anthony, but like even when I took electrolytes, I wasn't even taking a lot. I was literally just taking a pinch of salt here and there, taking the capsules every now and then. I mean, I don't take any supplements other than protein powder, and not when I'm fasting, only on my refeeds. So Dynamite asks, how many Bulls hats do you have? More than I would like to admit, I guess, is the real answer for that. Dynamite, thank you for the question. What is with these questions? Stupid and off topic. It's not a stupid question, but I appreciate the question. Will we ever get a look at the full hat collection? Maybe one day. Maybe one day. You don't have to answer this question because I know. No, I appreciate the question. I have a lot of hats. I have way more hats than I really would like to admit. You've probably seen many of my hats in my live streams. I usually just, now I just wear my and I feel really bad because, one second. I feel really bad because I had wanted to, get these ready to go for you guys. It says finally fasting on the side. I really wanted to get these for sale before I left, but we'll have to do it when I get back. Ooh, it matches the blue, right? Okay, now my hair is really messed up. When I get back, hopefully. So Steven. Vicky says, Jerome, can you film food that's eaten in Japan for us? That's my plan. I don't know how. I don't want to be annoying with it, but I'm going to try to film as much as I can when I eat there. So look forward to, or stay tuned for a very like a long 2-week Japan trip video. And that's my plan. As I'm there, I'm planning to at least try to put as much as I can together so that by the time I get back, you'll have a video right away of like what my weight was before I started, because tomorrow's technically when I'm going to start my vacation, because I'm taking my mom out to dinner and then I'm going to Japan and then I'm going to be eating back-to-back days. So you'll all see what the weight starts at, what it ends at, what I've eaten, and I'll probably do a little vlogging of like my experience there. So I look forward to it. Dynamite says, Jerome confirmed, as a man with many hats. That is correct. Aisha, what size was the shirt you took off? That was a large adult shirt, a large adult. And remember, I used to wear an extra large adult shirt. I used to also wear a double X adult shirt. So, and now I wear an extra large boys, or sometimes I wear a large boys as well. So yeah. Steven, is that do you really? Do you really do that with shirts? Maybe I'll have to talk to you, because I was actually looking for a shirt manufacturer, but I'm really picky about quality of stuff. So I've been wanting to put merch for a shirt together. So yeah. But if you do, then yeah, let me know, Steven. Shoot me an email. Okay. I think those are all the questions. This is a little sad for me because I'm going to be gone for a while. Here's the thing. I will actually be back. So okay, just FYI, next Sunday there will be no like IRL live stream, but I am hoping to put some type of content out on Sunday. So a live stream technically will still happen, is my guess. Don't quote me on it, but my hope is that I still find a way to get all of us together on Sunday. I won't be there technically in real life, but it'll still be new content. It'll be a place for all of you to get together if that's what you enjoy doing. So maybe that's something you'll do. But I will be back the following Sunday. So it's only one Sunday I will be gone. I'll be back on Sunday, December 8th. I'll be back live then. So it's only 1 week. So it's going to be okay. I don't know if I'm going to be putting content out in that time though. That is the real question, is if I'm going to be putting other content out in between that time. That I'm not sure. Maybe. That's my answer to that. Robin asks, Jerome, does fasting constipate you? It does not. People will always ask me if it constipates me, if I have diarrhea, and the answer to that is no. Sometimes my stomach will get upset after a refeed, but it's far and few between. And yes, I do have bowel movements after my refeeds. It's just common. Yesterday I went to the Bulls game and I drank at the bar, I ate at the bar, I ate at the Bulls game, and I think one of my other friends was like, how do you not go to the bathroom eating like that? And I was literally at the entire Bulls game, Ubered back, and like I didn't go to the bathroom until later, until I was eating my my meal after all of that food. I don't know. I tell people I think I'm just built differently. I don't know what it is about me or why, but I say this because, like, for anybody here who has issues with constipation, please, if you can share, if you think that if any of you have any advice, please feel free to share with Robin. Thank you guys. I appreciate the comments there. I'll say this before I get going here. And like I say this all the time, I want all of you to remember that the weight on the scale should never define you. The weight on the scale should never value your worth. Do not value your worth based on the number on the scale. That is not what constitutes you as a person. That is not what gives you your worth or your value. Continue to respect yourself, accept yourself, and love yourself for the person you are today. It is so important, especially when you're on this journey. I always say this, but even though I'm only 20 hours fasted and I am breaking tomorrow and I am eating for the next 2 weeks, I want you to remember that you are not alone on this journey. Okay. You're never alone on this journey. I have been doing this now for well over a year. People have said to me, you're going to gain all the weight back. People have said to me, this is unsustainable. People have told me you're going to lose all your muscle. People have told me blah, 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 blah. And none of those things. My blood work is amazing. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm going to be 44 in a week and 2 days in Japan. And I feel great. I no longer suffer with depression. I'm very confident in my skin. Fasting has always, I knew it from the moment I started that I felt like I had something here. I felt like, oh my God, like I've spent the last 40 years trying to find out how to get a hold of my issues, and fasting is what has gotten me out of it. You are not alone on this journey. If you ever feel like, many of us have probably felt this way. Why me? Why do I have to do this? Why do I have to be in this situation? Why is it so hard for blah, 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 blah? Listen, that was me too. If I can do it, I know many of you can. I know you will. If you're like me, you probably have that all or nothing mentality, that black and white thinking. You just have to get yourself out of that. Imperfect consistency has been probably one of the biggest keys to success, as well as accountability, as well as showing up day in and day out, being transparent, being honest with yourself, being honest with what the scale says and saying, fuck it, that's what it says. Let me move on with my life. Learning the other things that are important when it comes to weight loss. Yes, this is a fasting channel. Yes, I share my fasting regimen and how often I fast. But I think all of you have realized now that this isn't just about fasting. It's so much more than that. Thank you, everyone, today for all the support. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for the gifted subs. I guess that's what people call it on Twitch. I've really never said that, but thank you for gifting memberships, Aiden. Thank you, everyone, for the support and the kind words as always. It feels weird. I feel like I'm going to miss you guys for the next 2 weeks. But I'm really looking forward to doing this. Just I know I don't share much of my personal life with you in that way, but I have been wanting to go to Japan. I was supposed to go in 2020, and then COVID happened. So my plans to go didn't happen, and here we are 4 years later, and I get to go now in like the best shape of my life, and we're going to do so much walking. And here's another non-scale victory is we're probably going to maybe do 15, 20,000 steps a day. And I know I'm not going to be the one that's going to be asking for a break. I say this because when my friends and I went to New York a couple of years ago, I was very heavy then. Actually, I went to New York shortly before I started my first journey of rolling fasts. And I felt so bad because I had to keep stopping for breaks, and I felt like I was holding up the group. And I know I don't have to worry about that this time. Actually, I'm wondering more if I'm going to tire people out, because I literally walk 5-6 miles a day for the last year. I have been doing this. So I know that my cardio fitness is like up here. I'm not worried at all. Okay. I don't know how much content I will have during the 2 weeks that I'm gone, but I'm hoping to maybe have some out there. I do think I will have something next Sunday. It won't be live in that way, but it will be new content, and it will be a place for all of you to still get together and talk if you think that might be helpful for you. So with that said, you will see me in 2 weeks after eating 13 days in a row, and you're going to see a fit check of me, of what I look like maybe 10, 15, maybe 20 pounds heavier. Hopefully not much more than that, but I guess we'll see what that looks like. All right, everyone. Thank you again for stopping by. I'll see you soon in 2 weeks. I think that's all I got. Okay. Thanks again, everyone. I'm just trying to clear everything out here. Okay. Bye, everyone. Take care. See ya.